Wait, who are you? I'm a somebody, what the hell you think? Can I get a hoya? Oh, he's so dreamy.
The movie begins with Mary Jane dating the high school jock named Flash, and we're introduced to the main character Peter Parker, who has such negative aura you got fat people laughing at him. So out of pity, Mary Jane helps him get on the bus, and we find out quickly dude's a total outcast, as other nerds don't even want to sit with him while the jocks see him as an easy target. Yo, these do not look like high schoolers, they all look like unks like me. So we pretty much learn Peter's a nerd that gets bullied as the class goes on a field trip. Now for context, Peter has a crush on MJ since he was 6, so he's like, you looking at me?
Hey. Hi.
Psych.
Oh, negative order.
Then we're introduced to Harry and his father, Norman Osborn, pulling up in a Rolls Royce, and Harry's like, Daddy, this is a public school. I don't like making people feel poor. But they are poor. And somehow the richest kid in school is also best friends with the biggest loser in school, which doesn't add up, but anyway. During a tour of a spider lab, Peter sees MJ not happy with Flash being all touchy as the Asian explain more about spiders and Peter keep getting worried.
Leave him alone.
Or what?
What's Daddy gonna do? Sue me?
First of all, that ain't no damn high schooler. That's a grown-ass man with a mortgage. And secondly, who the hell gets bullied for being rich? So what, you're gonna make fun of someone because their parents did what they're supposed to do and made a good living? Like, what? Anyway, Peter tells Harry some fun facts about spiders, and Harry's like, this is why you get bullied, bro. And turns out Harry also likes MJ and decides to tell her the same fun facts about spiders that Peter told him, and Peter's like, what the hell? I thought we were friends, you mother bitch. Then the teacher steps in and plays defense on Harry, and with MJ all alone pretending like she gives a shit about spiders, Peter shoots his shot. Hello, redhead, I need you to pose for the school paper.
Don't make me look ugly.
We can always use Photoshop. And as Peter takes photos so that he can goon to them later, a spider bites his ass, and this was no ordinary spider, it was a special spider. Ooh. Meanwhile, Norman gives updates on a performance-enhancing drug he's making to continue getting funded by the military. But when asked about the side effects of one of their failed tests, it was aggression and insanity. But Norman's like, it's chill and ready for human trials, while his sidekick Nerd says we need to start from scratch. Why are you saying this? Is it because your hairline's receding? So Norman is told if the new drug isn't successful in 2 weeks, then his company will die and the funding will go to his competitor. Then we're introduced to Uncle Ben and Aunt May, who takes care of Peter.
Cause he has no parents. So Peter Parker has no mother Parker.
And yo, look at this neighborhood. It's interesting to see what America looked like in 2002. Anyway, Peter comes home feeling sick and doesn't want to talk.
You alright?
I got a goon. So bro busts a fat nut and passes out having the best sleep of his life as the spider bite results in his body transforming and he obtains spider-like powers. But back at Oscorp, Norman doesn't want the company he created to die. So he takes a big risk and tests the drug on himself, and if anyone watched the film, Norman was a pretty chill dude and a nice guy and did the best he could for his company. And Norman has a seizure, looking like he's getting head, then his heart stops beating, and when his sidekick tries to bring him back to life, Norman becomes batshit crazy, killing his own sidekick, acting like the drug addict on crack. The next morning, Peter starts looks-maxing and gets a glow-up and doesn't look like a nut anymore. Damn! It's bigger! Then we find out he's next door neighbors with Mary Jane. Wait a minute, you lived next to your crush since you were 6 and the first time you ever spoke to her was your last year in high school? Bro, you are a geek! So MJ's in a toxic ass household, Norman wakes up and can't remember anything as he's told his sidekick is dead, and Peter learns quickly that he's got superpowers.
I'm just a girl. Shit.
And Peter prevents her from losing aura.
You're a short king, but you have nice eyes.
Then she gets the ick and regrets talking to him like,
what a weirdo.
And suddenly Peter finds out he can start shooting webs with his own hands and accidentally gives Flash some free food. And Peter's like, oh, I hit Flash? Gotta run before he kills me. Peter Parker? So Flash chases after him, but thanks to having spider senses, he can start seeing shit in slow motion and decides to make Flash look stupid. Wait, did Flash try to sucker punch him? What a coward. I remember watching these fight scenes as a kid, and I thought this was the coolest shit ever. And I'm sure everyone likes it when the underdog gives the bully his get back, right? So Peter makes Flash go, ah! And with one punch, dude goes flying into getting more free food. Yo, look at Harry's face. This is hilarious. He's like, oh my gosh, what? Like, what? He's like, oh my gosh, Peter, you're so bad, Peter. Oh my gosh. So bro thought he'd get an applause, but is called a freak, and even MJ looks at him like he is one, so he runs away and discovers many spikes on his hands and goes, well, guess that means I can climb walls now. And instead of freaking out and going to the hospital, he's like, what else can I do? And starts jumping over buildings and does some experimenting. Yeah.
Fly.
Then he learns how to shoot webs and thinks it's a good idea to start swinging on it like a Tarzan wannabe.
Oh, wee.
Then later that night, Peter and MJ get a chance to talk to each other since they're neighbors, and it's just like, no way y'all were neighbors for more than a decade, and this is the first time y'all talk outside your house. But Flash plays defense, pulling up in his new whip that he got as a birthday present, and I think this is a canon event for every dude at some point in his life as Peter starts getting interested in buying a nice car. Wait, look at these ridiculous deals though. No interest for 60 months? Now here's the crazy part. So a Ben's E-Class was 30k then and it's around 118 to 200,000 now. But a Porsche 911 S Turbo was 40k back then and now goes for 600,000. Yo, a 911 at this price is a steal. So Peter finds a nice car for $2,600 and sees an ad for $3,000 if he stays in the ring for 3 minutes as an amateur wrestler. So this poor dude tries getting a nice car to impress MJ and creates his own costume design while shooting his goon juice everywhere. Now Uncle Ben starts getting worried because Peter's been acting weird, so he tries to show some love by dropping him off at a library. And this was because Peter lied to Uncle Ben, saying he's going to the library when he's really going to a wrestling match.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Stop lecturing me.
I know I'm not your father.
So stop pretending to be.
Damn, Peter. Oh, you hurt him. And Uncle Ben didn't even say anything crazy. He was just trying to look out for him. So Peter goes to the wrestling match and sees the Liver King lookalike on roids and is introduced to the ring as the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, he got that outfit from Shein.
So the crowd starts booing, the ring girls start talking shit, this NPC's dick no longer works, and the match begins. Now Peter gets out of Steroids' reach, and instead of staying there for 3 minutes and making $3 grand, he goes back down to get beat cause he a masochist. Man, why is his spider senses so inconsistent? Shouldn't he be able to dodge these attacks? But thanks to his super strength, after a couple of kicks and a yeet, Peter knocks him out. Nah, look at all these haters switching up. If I'm Peter, I'm telling the crowd to keep that same energy. And he gets scammed. Where's my $3 grand? You beat him in 2 minutes, so it don't count.
Just give me my money.
That sounds like a you problem.
$100. Bro was meant to get paid $3 grand, but only got 100. If I'm Peter, I'm crashing out.
But Peter's too nice and walks away because I'm sure he'd be able to sue them if he wanted to. Then this dude gets the karma straight away, and it's well deserved too. And when Peter has the chance to stop the dude, he just lets him take the elevator and get away because screw that scammer. I scammed you, but you didn't stop him.
Sounds like a you problem.
So Peter's feeling himself like, yeah. Only to later find out that his uncle got murdered.
Peter,
I didn't go to the library.
you dumbass.
Yo, this dude can't catch a break, cause how you get scammed and lose your uncle on the same day when you also don't even have any parents? So Peter then learns how to swing his webs like Tarzan, then ends up finding the criminal who killed his uncle and beats his ass. And turns out the dude who killed his uncle was the same dude that stole the $3 grand. Really? You killed a dude over $3 grand? You risking life in jail over $3 grand?
That criminal is very stupid.
But Peter used the kung fu.
And the criminal slips, falls, and dies. Man, the money's right there. I mean, it technically does belong to Peter, so he should have taken it, not gonna lie. Then he comes home and tells Aunt May
She can't get clapped anymore.
Meanwhile, Norman's competitor Quest makes some Iron Man looking as robot tech as his elder Wrinkle admits he can't wait to see Norman out of business. Then some random dude on a glider comes and kills them all. And eventually Peter and Harry graduates as Norman congratulates the both of them and even tells Peter if he needs anything, let him know. Yeah, use those connections and get a job, Peter. Now Harry sees MJ and Flash breaking up, and I gotta say this film does a great job by using Flash and Peter as the guys girls date and ignore. So Flash is that tall popular dude that's a bit of a dick who drives a nice car that gets all the girls, whereas guys like Peter, who are short, a bit nerdy, and socially awkward, are practically invisible to girls and are never seen as dating material. And I think showing the contrast between Flash and Peter in the film was a great move since most dudes will relate to Peter more than Flash.
Not me though, but y'all stay safe. Okay.
Anyway, now that he's graduated, Peter decides to become a brokey superhero who continues to stay poor while saving others.
He even saved the Asians when the Asians get robbed. Oh, Spider-Man invited to the hot pot cookout.
So he becomes a town favorite as hippies find him hot, and this pisses off a publisher for the daily newspaper who sees Spider-Man as a menace cause he jelly. So he puts out an ad to pay anyone with Spider-Man's photo cause he wants to make articles talking shit about it. Meanwhile, Peter catches up with MJ and
She now walked the minimum wage.
while Peter's still looking for a job.
Wait, didn't Peter make his own Spider-Man suit? So technically he can make his own clothing company or just get into costume design and be really good at it. Or he can become the best boxer in the world by using his super strength and spider senses and just destroy his own weight class.
Anyway, MJ's like, don't tell Harry, cause turns out she's going out with him now, and
Peter stuck in the friend zone.
now Peter could have become rich using endless different ways with his new abilities, but instead he decides to take pictures of himself as Spider-Man and sells the photos for dirt cheap that won't even cover the rent.
Now for someone who's really smart, he sure doesn't know how to make the money.
I'll give you $10 a photo.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, slave, now get the hell out. Yo, I remember watching the scene as a kid and I thought this actress was so fine. I was like, yo, why can't she play Mary Jane? Now, back at Oscorp, their competitor is gone and their stock is through the roof, and the board of directors decide to fire Norman and sell the company for maximum profit.
And Norman crashes out. I started this company. You know how much I sacrificed?
I need the money to fix my hairline. You still rich anyway. So later at the World Unity Festival, where all the board of directors are present, Peter spots Harry and MJ together.
What the hell?
So you like me?
Why wouldn't I?
And when he tries to kiss her, she curves his ass.
Oh my goodness, that curve wasn't saying she don't like you.
Then why is she dating him? Does she want the money?
Then suddenly, the same glider dude that took out Oscorp's competitor pulls up and kills all the board of directors. But yeah, the CGI effects back in the day was pretty shit, not gonna lie.
Cause what the hell is this?
And when MJ's in danger, she's like,
Harry!
well, you strong and independent. Hell no, I ain't saving you. I got a trust fund to protect. But jokes aside, Harry does try to save her, but gets knocked out by a rock. And it was at that moment that she knew that she was never gonna let him hit.
Excuse me, why are you wearing an Asian dress when you're not Asian?
Then Spider-Man pulls up and they start throwing hands. And this kid right here has zero survival instincts as he's just standing there waiting to die. Now, unpopular opinion, but if you see something falling and everyone is running away and you're still standing still, maybe you should die. So this Green Goblin whoops the cop's ass, then kicks Peter as some poor NPC goes down with him. Then realizing MJ's about to fall and die, Peter tries saving her, but Green Goblin too clingy and annoying.
Take that. Now you Asian. I break your glider. Now it worth $2.50.
So MJ falls, and I wonder if the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man film copied this scene because it looks pretty damn similar, except in this film the girl is saved.
Chinaman. Chinaman.
What the?
No, keep making out. I was about to get hard. Wait, who are you? I'm a somebody. What the hell you think? Can I get a hoya? Oh, he's so dreamy.
What do you mean he's incredible? If I don't pass out from that rock, I would have saved you.
Can I still get cuddles, mommy?
No, you hang up.
Oh, Harry's the simp.
Then the next day, Norman finds out he's got multiple personalities as there's another side of him that does crazy evil shit as he realizes it was him that killed his competitor's company and the board of directors. And my goodness, his acting skills in this film is so damn good. Not to mention it also helps when you look
Creepy as hell.
So the Goblin pulls up on Jameson, the newspaper dude, and asks who the hell takes pictures for Spider-Man so that he can find him, but dude won't snitch.
I don't know who he is.
Harrow, you looking for me?
I knew you two are working together.
Man, this scene is hilarious.
So Green Goblin attacks you because he wants to know Spider-Man's whereabouts, so they're clearly not working together, and when Spider-Man shows up saving your ass, the first thing you say is that they're working together.
Oh, here's the D1 hater.
Then Goblin puts Peter to sleep and carries his ass like the bye-bye. And he offers an alliance to work together, which I thought was pretty generous for Goblin to do that, because he could have straight up killed Peter right then and there, and no one will be able to stop him. He goes,
Spidey, let's be besties. Think about it, girly.
The newspaper Jameson starts talking shit, saying Spider-Man attacked him, and continues to write articles about how he is a villain that needs to be arrested.
So is this movie saying that the news can't be trusted and it's biased? Interesting.
Then Peter keeps stalking MJ to try and escape the friend zone and keeps asking updates about her and Harry's relationship.
Why are you so interested?
Why would I be?
Why would you be?
Wait, is she flirting with him? And Peter the naughty boy for breaking guy code. Cause even if you have a crush on her, if your best friend is dating her, then she's off limits. Come on, bro. But Peter senses MJ's in danger as a couple of dudes start following her, and yo, I'm not making this up, one of the dudes just starts barking at her like,
So the Spider-Man come to the rescue, beating their asses.
and saves Mary Jane twice.
Why you always in danger? And why you a stalker? You like fried rice? My favorite food is dim sum.
And while still dating Harry, she decides to make out with Spider-Man cause
She horny.
Mary Jane, naughty, naughty. Oh, naughty, naughty.
at least break up with Harry first if you're gonna do this shit. Yo, look at how happy she is. She's like, Harry, ain't nobody give a shit about him. And while Spider-Man continues to do some Spider-Man shit like saving chopped ass babies from becoming more chopped, this happens.
Like a somebody, you okay? Don't worry. Slay, surprise. Hey girl. Why you catfish?
So they end up squaring up again, and Peter gets injured in the process, and after giving Goblin a love tap, he quickly escapes. Meanwhile, Mary Jane preps for Thanksgiving to impress Harry's dad, Norman.
So do you like Harry or not? Because if you don't like him, why are you still dating him and trying to impress his dad? Are you digging for gold?
Then Peter pulls up, making some noise, which gets the others to check his room if he's there or not, and a bit of blood from his injury drops on the floor, and
Oh, it look like the ketchup.
then he enters the front door pretending like he wasn't in his room like a minute ago and makes the mistake of taking off his jacket, revealing his injury to everyone. And that's when Norman finds out Peter is Spider-Man and decides to leave the dinner table early because he don't give two craps about Mary Jane. And when Harry tells him to stay, his dad straight up tells him MJ doesn't like him and is after his trust fund, while everyone at the dinner table can hear it. She's after your money.
Crap, is it that obvious?
And when Harry gets back, she gets mad at him like he was the one that said it. And Peter's just there like, wait, they might break up?
Yes. Yes!
Now, Norman doesn't want to kill Peter, but the goblin inside him convinces him to make Peter suffer. So while Aunt May is praying for Uncle Ben, Norman just shows up and blows up her crib.
Damn, Norman, she pushing 70. Leave that poor woman alone.
What the hell?
Good luck explaining this to your insurance company.
I'm gonna be dead forever.
Yes, you will.
But turns out Goblin just scared her, and she's like, oh,
I can't fix my house.
So Peter finds out Goblin knows who he is, and when Mary Jane shows up to visit Aunt May, she confesses she's in love with Spider-Man while still dating Harry. And Aunt May's like,
Ooh, spill the tea.
now Peter thinks he's slick, and he goes, I know Spider-Man, I take photos of him and we talk all the time, and he asked me about you.
What'd you say?
That I goon to your photos, and when I nut, it's the best feeling ever. I'll goon to you forever.
You said that?
Damn, my nephew's a creep. Then MJ grabs Peter's hand, and I had the same reaction as him. Like,
Girl, what are you doing?
So you're dating Harry, but then said you're in love with Spider-Man, but now you're holding Peter's hand?
MJ, naughty, naughty. Naughty.
Then Harry shows up and catches the two holding hands, and you can clearly tell from their reactions they knew what they were doing was wrong. So Harry vents to his dad, telling him that he was right about MJ, and in the process reveals Peter loved her since the 4th grade. Then Norman uses the
Emotional manipulation.
to make Harry think that he cares about him when he doesn't.
You shouldn't be gooning to her photos, you know?
And when she says everyone knows Peter likes MJ, Bro realizes that she could be in danger and hits her up, only to find out that the Green Goblin has taken her and tells Peter to pull up. And by the time he does, Goblin gives him two choices. Either save MJ from turning into splattered cheese, or he can save a bunch of kids. The kids are like,
Please help, Spider-Man. You think I care about kids? Now choose.
and you know what's funny? He actually goes to MJ and says, man, fuck them kids. So I wonder what the kids were thinking as they were falling and seeing Spider-Man ignore their ass. But he's a superhero for a reason and attempts to save both, and Green Goblin goes,
What the hell?
so he attacks Peter while he can't fight, and goddamn, MJ be
Soaring, flying.
And long story short, Goblin gets distracted by the NPCs of New York who gives him free food, allowing Peter to save MJ and the kids, but then he gets taken by Goblin and yeeted into an old ass building. And when I tell you, Peter's about to get the beating of his life. So he first gets hit with an explosion, then Goblin punches his face, then gives him an uppercut and a smackety smack and another smack.
Oh, Spider-Man getting the B+ beating. Now he knows what it's like to have the strict Asian mother.
Then Goblin gets cocky and makes the mistake of telling Peter he's gonna kill MJ slowly and enjoy it. And this enrages Peter, because if MJ's gone, how are you gonna take more photos to goon to? And what's funny is Peter only hits Goblin like half of what Goblin did to him, but he's like,
Wait, Daddy, chill.
and Norman reveals his identity to Peter and tries to use the emotional manipulation to get Peter to lower his guard down and kill him from behind.
You need money? I'll make you rich.
Nah, I actually like being broke.
Then you can die being poor.
So Norman tries to kill him, but thanks to Peter's spidey senses, Goblin ends up killing himself.
Ooh, Norman the Japanese.
Wait, so when Goblin was beating your ass, your spider senses were non-existent and you couldn't dodge shit, but then suddenly your spider sense starts working again? So inconsistent. Then he tells Peter don't snitch and tell Harry, then passes away. And Peter decides to put his body back in Norman's crib, which was a terrible idea because Harry sees him and is now convinced Spider-Man killed him.
Like, if you brought him to the hospital, it would just be seen as an accident, right? Harry would never find out. Or if you're going to drop him off at his place, then at least leave a note saying, like, look, the Green Goblin killed him, which technically is true, and there would be no misunderstandings.
But instead, Peter runs away and doesn't explain shit because he's toxic and wants drama. Then at Norman's funeral, Harry vows to make Spider-Man pay while thanking Peter, saying he's the only family he's got left. And while Peter's still at the cemetery, MJ shows up, now newly single, and despite literally telling him she was in love with Spider-Man, she now tells him she's in love with him now.
It was you. It was always you. I love you so much, Peter.
Hey, yo, at a cemetery though?
Yo, who makes out with someone at a cemetery? No, there's a time and a place for everything. Like, really? You couldn't wait like a little bit later? Like, you just had to do it on top of Uncle Ben's grave? What the hell's the matter with you?
So MJ wants to date Peter now because Peter knows he's Spider-Man and his enemies will always use his weakness against him. He puts MJ in the friend zone to protect her and ultimately rejects her to continue to live his life as a gooner.
Now, this was one of my favorite films growing up as a kid, so it was really enjoyable making this video, and looking at it now again as an adult, I didn't realize how toxic MJ and Peter was, but yeah, no, I still prefer this film over any Marvel film made in recent memory. Like, this film is way better than Ant-Man 3. Wanna know why? Because Ant-Man 3 was trash. But yeah, if you have any thoughts on the film, feel free to let me know. Thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy KC, and yeah, till next time.